Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this video and welcome to the Haves and the Have-Nots review here on YouTube. If you're a fan of Tyler Perry, you've come to the right place. Be sure to click that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. And also check me out on these social media platforms, and links in the description below will lead you to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group, and Facebook page. Once again, thanks for joining in and enjoy the video.
Knots.
This little green thing you got going on, I want it shut down. Shut down now. My brother's been shot.
Is he okay?
I don't know.
I had an informant at the DA's office. She came to the house and she was wearing a wire.
Why'd you call me?
I knew somebody was after him.
How? Were you born here?
I was born in Brooklyn.
You were born in Guadalajara. Oh my God.
All right, and that was our preview for the next episode, Speak Through It. Now, I'm looking at my notes. There's not too much to talk about, but I'm not complaining. I'm hoping that maybe sometime next month in December, we'll get a teaser trailer showing us scenes from, pretty much a lot of different things within the season. Or you know what? Maybe they'll wait until after the premiere episode, Speak Through It, and then give us an exclusive look of this season on the Haves and the Have-Nots, and they'll show us a bunch of clips from various episodes. Could be one or the other. But just jumping into the trailer itself, it looks like Hannah's still on the stoop with Benny. And guys, if you saw my videos, I'm pretty sure Benny is alive because Tyler Lepley, number one, was in Atlanta a couple months ago for filming. Number two, if you look very closely at Benny at the end of the episode, you will barely see his fingers moving, so he's alive, but barely. And I'm doing this video first because it's short, sweet, and to the point. My episode review for the finale is going to be pretty beefy and lengthy. Well, I know that sounded wrong. It's going to be beefy because it's a lot of content. It's going to be lengthy because it's going to be longer than about 20 minutes, I think. So keep that in mind. And it looks like she's looking up at somebody saying, no. So I don't know if it's 911, if it's Derek, or if it's Mitch. I'm guessing Mitch doesn't show up until maybe once they're at the hospital. Derek was coming back for dinner, but remember, Hannah called 911 first. So it's either 911 that shows up or Derek. That's just my, guess there. And it really doesn't matter because, number one, we do know that at some point Benny does get to the hospital. Derek is waiting with Hannah in the waiting room, and then Mitch shows up. Next up, we have, once again, Jeffrey and Madison looking down at Veronica. So was, the beginning of the last episode where they had that argument and she went over the balcony. So did everything that occurred in the episode after the opening scene, how long has she been laying on that damn floor? Weird. And then somebody actually joked around, like, Jeremy, if you look closely, don't it look like Veronica smiling up at Jeffrey? Y'all wrong for that. Oh, okay. Then we got badass Catherine. Now, I can't wait to do my episode review. There's so much I want to talk about in that. Catherine wants Broderick to just shut the prostitution ring down. It looks like she got her fill for the night. And then later on in the trailer, it's like, so where are you from? I was born in Brooklyn. Nope. Guadalajara. I think that's what she said. I don't know if that's something she said, as a sexy banter thing, or if it's one of those things where, oh, you're trying to blackmail me with sexual harassment. Well, I'm just going to have you deported or something like that. I don't know. Catherine Cryer can make shit happen. Let's see here. Candace gets the intel that Benny was shot. It looks like, her and Charles obviously were having sex. Well, had finished having sex. And then, that kind of ruined the moment. Her brother got shot. The question is, how would she know? The fact that she brought it to his attention, maybe she gets a phone call from either Mitch or Hannah. I don't know. I would be leaning more towards Mitch being the one to call Candace saying that, hey, your brother was shot. I'm not saying Hannah wouldn't do it, but given everything that's going on, I don't think she would. If you remember back in season 2 after the hit and run, Candace didn't even know about Benny being in the hospital until she went down to the hospital. So Hannah wouldn't even tell her what was going on. So, or tell her where her brother was. So I'm just saying it is possible that maybe, it's probably Mitch. I mean, you could make the assumption that, oh, what if they're watching TV and then on the news they show the location and the address of where the shooting happened, and then Candace puts two and two together. But I don't think they'll be watching TV after having that, apparently good sex. I'm just saying. Let's see. Then Jim goes to the hospital just to give David the intel that his informant Sarah came to the house wired. David looks concerned. Then Hannah questions Mitch about what he knows. And as I briefly stated during the pause between the preview, it's that one night that it was after Mitch found out that Vinny was on the floor bleeding out, and he came back to the house and he and Benny got into the argument on the front step and Hannah overheard it. Then Benny explained where he got the money from, who Mitch is, what his family does. Then they had to be explained to her a second time when she was on the happy pill. So I'm wondering, why the hell is she acting so surprised? Like, what did you know about it? How did you know that somebody was coming after him? I'm just like, Hannah, you already know this information. Like, I get the whole grief thing and you're upset, but don't be. Mitch has proven to be one of the best characters. The only thing I didn't like this season was when he jumped to the conclusion that Benny was the one that tried to do in his uncle Vinny to get out of paying the money back. But again, I could chalk that up to grief. But at the same time, that was the only time I did not like Mitch. That was the only time. Other than that, he was one of the best characters on the show this season. So he's put his own life on the line, as well as his relationship with his family, just to save your son. So don't give him any shit. All right. And then finally, in the last scene, it looks like Secret Service shows up and, pretty much trying to make space within the waiting room area, to make sure it's secure. And, oh my God. So we can pretty much assume that Hannah sees Candace walking in with the President-elect Charles. But overall, that was the preview for Speak Through It, the first episode we're going to be getting in January 2019. I'm excited. It looks like a pretty solid episode, and to be completely honest, it looks like we might have a lot of people showing up at the hospital. Now, I'm just going to assume that Benny's going to be brought to the same hospital as David. So when you think of it this way, and Benny's going to be in the hospital, David's already in the burn unit, Jim's going to be showing up to talk with David. Then, of course, Candace and Charles are going to show up. We got Derek and Mitch already there. Not to mention Veronica. I don't know, if Jeffrey and Madison are going to call 911 or just let her lay there for a while. We'll just have to wait and see. But let's say they do call 911. She gets brought to the hospital. Then, Madison and Jeffrey are probably going to be there as well. So, and Justin is probably lurking around somewhere. It almost feels like the only character who's not going to be at the hospital is Wyatt, because he's still locked up in the house with Leo and Max. So, and then Catherine, good and well, if she gets the call from Hannah just to let her know what's going on, she will throw those clothes back on and rush down to help her friend. So I feel like we are in for an opening like never before. It seems like some good stuff is going to go down. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you expect to see in 2019 from the haves and the have-nots? Were you excited with were you satisfied with the finale we got? Like I said before, I will definitely do my finale episode review later today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because just because the show is on hiatus doesn't mean I won't be doing new content. I still have other shows I want to talk about. There's a podcast I want to get started within the next 2 weeks. So thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a hell of a season, and I'll talk to you all later.